Well, this one will be pretty hard to figure out, but we're going to get through it as we're going through the Big Ten for our college football previews here at Ballard Sports Media. The Michigan Wolverines, the defending Big Ten champs, can they repeat? Well, I'll tell you what, at the end of this video, if you see my record that I have for them, you'd say that there's a great possibility. But I'm going to leave it up to you guys as you comment in the comment chat. But let's just go ahead and look at Michigan this year and Jim Harbaugh. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ballard here, coming at you with a quick video today. Michigan, the Wolverines, the defending Big Ten champions, fell short in the Orange Bowl to Georgia, who won the Natty over Alabama, of course. How do they get back to that? They are losing a bit, but they're also bringing a lot back. Who do they have? You got guys like Hassan Haskins going pro, I believe. I know Daxton Hill and Aiden Hutchinson are going pro. Ronnie Bell is coming back, who missed 2021 due to an ACL tear. They're also recruiting pretty great right now, too. They're 15th in next year's class. When you look at what they did for recruiting in the class they just signed, let me pull up for you guys. Basically, Michigan it is hard to figure out, but it's also not too hard to figure out. They bring in a lot. They brought in one of the top corners. In fact, the top guy in Michigan, a 5-star, Will Johnson, 6'3", 190. He's the third overall corner in the class. Keon Sabb is from IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Pretty good school there. He's a safety. Tyler Morris from Nazareth in LaGrange Park in Illinois. Tyler Morris, I mentioned here, a 4-star wide receiver. Darius Clemens, Jimmy Rolder, Mason Graham. They brought in a lot, right? They have the talent. And it is going to be a young team. Again, they're losing guys like Daxton Hill, Aiden Hutchinson, going pro. I think. Let me double check. It's Hassan Haskins. Is he going pro? Last I checked, I thought he was. And he is, yes. So they do bring back quite a bit, though. Cade McNamara is going to come back at quarterback. They still got J.J. McCarthy. Michigan is losing a few key guys, obviously, right? But it shouldn't be too big of a deal. It shouldn't be too much of a scare. You look at last year and what they did as the Big Ten champions, right? I still got that from Ohio State. I thought I had fixed this. I guess it's acting up. They won the Big Ten, and they went 12-2 overall, 9-1 in the Big Ten play. So let's pull up their schedule real quick, guys. Let's see. Again, I thought I had originally changed that, but 12-2 overall. Losing streak of 1. They did lose to Georgia, who was the eventual champion. I felt like last year was set up for Georgia anyway. They beat Western Michigan, Washington. They're beating these teams, not that Washington or Western Michigan, and no disrespect even to NIU, I don't mean to say that they're low programs. They're not. But they weren't good teams last year. And it wasn't going to be the competition that we needed to see Michigan go up against, right? So they play those teams. It's like, all right, that's great. That's fine. Even with Rutgers, I really think the competition didn't start until a trip to Wisconsin or Nebraska which both of those teams didn't do too well. They did struggle against Nebraska 32-29, but they pulled it off. They beat Wisconsin handily. They get a bye week. I thought was good timing. Northwestern 33-7. Michigan State had a better defense in this game. I think that's kind of what won it there. Peyton Thorne and company got it done. 37-33. They do take that loss, but they bounce back in large ways, right? It took a little bit for the offense to get back to it against teams like the Buckeyes and Maryland, but they still beat teams like Penn State and Indiana. They go and they win in a blowout the Big Ten championship. So they win the Big Ten championship. They go to the Orange Bowl. And they lose to Georgia 34-11. Overall, you finally beat Ohio State, right? You finally did that. You won the Big Ten. Michigan fans, be happy. So you lost the Orange Bowl. Suck it up. Give it this year. Now, look, the focus isn't can we beat Ohio State? Can we win the Big Ten? It's can we win a playoff game? Can they get back to that? I think they can. I'm not going to say that they will, honestly. I mean, let's just get into this year's schedule. I think it's very favorable for them, though. But you look at what they got this year. Okay. First off, you got quarterback competition between J.J. McCarthy and Cade McNamara, right? That's the big key point for them this offseason. They're trying to figure out, okay, who are we going to start? You got J.J. McCarthy, a five-star freshman, where Cade McNamara was a proven winner last year, controlled the offense, controlled it when it needed to. So then you got to fill up the gap with five-star quarterback Will Johnson coming in with Daxton Hill gone. You know, David Ajabo, Aiden Hutchinson. Really, they don't lose much on their offense. It's the defense. And that's where you're going to need help to try and beat these teams here. I'm not talking about Colorado State or Hawaii. I think they're going to win those. I think they're going to win UConn. They'll go 3-0. Maryland, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to play it safe and say you win that game there. At Iowa is probably their first true test there. I like Iowa this year. I think their offense is going to be great. I think it's going to be a close game. But I still think Michigan is better and well prepared for it, more than Iowa is. I think that I think Michigan has a better offense. Indiana, probably say the same thing here. I mean, again, Cade McNamara comes back. I think you bring back Blake Corum to fill in the void for Hassan Haskins. They ran a 2 running back set last season. So, which was great to see, which has worked for quite a few offenses. I mean, even Alabama has done that in years past. Of course, you guys know the history of like Derrick Henry and everything, but go back a few years with Damian Harris and Josh Jacobs. So that's what they did last year. Well, what that does help with, especially if you hope both guys don't leave. Let's say you get one coming back. I believe Blake Corum is. But someone can correct me if I'm wrong. He has that experience. So it's not like he's going to be stepping in this role that he's unfamiliar with. So the running back position should be okay there, right? And even if maybe if he is going pro, then they got to turn to a freshman or somebody, I think. Right? CJ Stokes is a 3-star from Columbia, South Carolina that they got signed. They got a 3-star offensive tackle in Connor Jones. They, They've picked up some good players this year. Even a 5-star corner in Will Johnson I mentioned from recruiting. But um, overall, here's my assessment. Michigan should be fine. They didn't lose a whole lot. What they did lose, they make up for it because they recruit so well. And I really think that not that Harbaugh should use, oh, I beat Ohio State finally. I know I can do it, so I can do it every year. It's not like that. But there should be no excuse for you to go back to losing 8 years in a row if you're Michigan. And I don't say that trollingly. I mean, there's no reason. Like, they should be able to beat teams like that on occasion, beat Penn State on occasion, beat Iowa, win the Big Ten. What do I think is going to happen? Well, I don't know. I think, honestly, they'll be favored in possibly every single game. Trap games that I have on here, I have at least, dude, I got like 5 different trap games. Right? At Iowa, Wisconsin on the road, Indiana at home, at Penn State, at Michigan State. Why all these teams? I haven't even looked at all of them, and I did, except for Penn State, is the only team on this list that I've looked at, which I do have them beating. But Wisconsin on the road, you never know what Wisconsin is going to do. They're going to either have a really good 8-4 season, or maybe they fall down a bit. They go 6-6. Do they surprise some people? Do they win the West? Indiana at Iowa. Iowa brings a lot back. Kirk Ferentz is a great head coach with great defense, great skills. Did not lose too much to the draft. They recruit well. There's so many obstacles on the schedule. At Michigan State, or actually, I'm sorry, that one's at home. But still, it's a big rivalry game. I think it's the Paul Bunyan Trophy rivalry, whatever they call it. That's a game to look out for. You should handle Nebraska and Rutgers. You should handle Maryland. That's your homecoming game. You should handle UConn. The non-conference schedule plays out in your favor for the most part. Hawaii, Colorado State. Give me a break here, folks. Then you finally get into conference play with Maryland, September 24th, at Iowa, at Indiana, Penn State, bye week, and then a pretty interesting stretch here. Michigan State at Rutgers, Nebraska, Illinois, at Ohio State. It's a very favorable schedule. Even losing at Indiana, there's probably, and I know that I put that as a trap game, but I still think even if you lose a game like that, yeah, you give credit to Indiana, but Michigan, come on. Seriously. You won the Big Ten last year. You went 12-2 and made the playoffs. And you bring a lot back on the defensive line, on the offensive line. You bring a lot back. Cade McNamara coming back. Blake Corum coming back. There's a lot. There's really not much you can lose. Now, I'm in favor of the Buckeyes this year. Let me just go ahead and say this. Again, I mentioned the trap games. At Iowa, at Wisconsin, Indiana, at Penn State, at Michigan State. Those are games to look out for. At least they will lose no more than maybe one of those. Plus, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I like the Buckeyes this year. I think they do lose to Ohio State. They get back to that. They're not going to go win in Columbus. Sorry. That's on the potential upset list. That's probably the only game they won't be favored in unless something happens at any point of the season. I mean, if they get off to a really bad start and start losing to teams like Colorado State, Hawaii, UConn, God forbid that, they won't be favored when it comes time at Indiana or Penn State or Michigan State or probably even Illinois. There's no way. But I don't think they're going to lose those games. I think they're going to win them. Just go ahead and cut to the chase. I'm going to say they go 11-1 and they go 8-1 in Big Ten play. Their only loss will be to the Buckeyes. Is that enough? That would have them in a good position. If they lose to Ohio State, they do not win the East. But they're New Year's Six bound or probably a one-loss Big Ten team. We could get 2 Big Ten teams in the college football playoff. How cool would that be? We've seen it happen twice already with the SEC. I'd like to see it with the Big Ten. What if those teams, how crazy would this be? I'm fixing to piss off some Ohio State and Michigan fans because I know you guys are like, you want your rivalry once a year. I'm like that with the Iron Bowl. I get it. But wouldn't it be kind of cool if Michigan ran the table 11-1 and maybe Ohio State did that or went undefeated? Let's say Ohio State or vice versa, but let's do the Ohio State scenario. They beat Michigan. They go win the Big Ten. Michigan's sitting there 11-1. They got this great resume. They've blown out or just let alone beat every other team. They have one of the best one-loss resumes there is, and they get in the playoffs. Okay, you have a Big Ten champ. Let's say you get Alabama from the SEC. You get Michigan in there as a one-loss Big Ten team. And then, I don't know, take your pick. Baylor, Oklahoma, doubt it. Maybe 2. How about Georgia getting back? Who's to say they won't? I mean, they lose their defense, that's it. What if we got 2 Big Ten and 2 SEC teams? Would that not blow the heads off the committee? Oh, my goodness. Having to do that. Anyway, I think that'd be cool. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I doubt it. But in this scenario, Michigan will be set up for something like that. To get 2 Big Ten teams in if Ohio State wins the Big Ten, and Michigan's there 11-1. If Michigan's there at the end of the year this year in 2022 and they're 11-1, even though they didn't win their conference, but their only loss is Ohio State, and they don't get a 4th spot, they've been robbed. Unless we have like all the Power 5 champs or one loss, then you just take the one-loss champions. That's all you do. But either way, I'll leave it at this. 11-1 is what I got. I think they should be favored in every game except for Ohio State, pending they don't lose to at Indiana, which is a trap game. Penn State could be a trap game. Michigan State could be a trap game. These are tough. At Iowa could be tough. They could go 10-2. I like Iowa this year. I don't know if I like them over Michigan. I like what Michigan brings back more so than what Iowa brings back. So, but again, overall, 11-1, 8-1 in the Big Ten, and their only loss being to the Ohio State Buckeyes. But that's going to do it for me, everybody. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. Let me know what you think about Michigan this year down below in the comments. And again, keep voting, keep talking. I think I'm going to do the ACC next, but we're working through the Big Ten. We're going by conference, of course, with these team previews. But maybe make a suggestion of what the next Big Ten team should be. I mean, I'm not against that. Let's just try to stick to going by conference this offseason with the team schedules and previews. But I love you guys. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan. Keep trusting and believing in him. Have faith. Keep going towards your dreams. Don't ever give up. Y'all have a good one. God bless. And as always, folks, like I say,
roll down Tide.
Roll Tide, roll. Love y'all. Ballard is out.